For today, I usually when I give in a presentation, I read to giving a monologue. It's one-sided monologue. It's very rare to sing. So today, I want to move quite close with men, and even with movement. I'm not left alone. And today it's March 8th. The whole week is a Women Week. We call that till to Sunday. So last Monday till to Sunday, so we celebrate all over the world. We call that Women Week. So not only March 8th, and so because of women revolution, the whole week for the industrial revolution leading by women from America that is started. So nowadays we honor specific day and special. Not only special on that day, the whole year we have to be celebrate for women. But for me, I have another aspect. Especially I want to honor for men for today. Not only today, for the whole life. So I firstly, before I present about that, I just want to sharing why this topic is become. So it is to better half means it's incomplete, you know. You can feel that half. So how do you feel that when you see that topic? Men are really talk in the public. Why is so silent here?
How is it 50-50?
50-50.
Yeah.
Only 50. Where is another 50?
Only I.
Both 50?
Both 50?
Yeah, he means both
Both
50.
50?
Yeah, 50.
Up 50? Okay. And how do you think?
50, half is mean 50. Share equal.
Equal. He like equal. Are you sure?
I like it.
So it is. I will figure it out more detail before I finish my talk. Why I choose that better half. So I come from Myanmar. Have you ever heard about Myanmar?
Of course.
So you have been there? No. So have you ever been? No. Have you ever heard Myanmar? Myanmar, yes. Where?
Burma, it is called Burma.
Burma, yeah.
Rangoon capital city.
Rangoon, yeah, now it's so. Yeah, I'm really happy because of when I share about Burma, Myanmar. Where is Burma, Myanmar? Myanmar is animal or something like that from Europe, you know. When I ask about my country, so I'm really feeling, you know, upset. But I'm here. It's you all mostly you know about Myanmar. I'm really glad to hear it. So today I will sharing with my context about the better half, and you can reflect by your context about the better half. So we are totally different contexts. So we will sharing and exchange our context, and feel free. Please forget about women. So behind of the woman, they are not a woman. Okay. So men, this time is your show. So please share freely. Don't be shy. Okay. Don't be afraid of me. Okay. feel free to share about that. So before you sharing that, I want to briefly present about the better half. So I want to briefly introduce about Myanmar. So Myanmar, you can see that we have over 100 ethnics, really diverse. I am a Korean, here, not that ethnic. So over 100, so really diverse. And culture is totally different, even in Myanmar. We call that Myanmar, so we cannot understand each other, our language, you know. The language is over 300 and like 400. So even Korean, we cannot communicate. So it's really, it's really complicated. That's why it's kind of. So you may know about the Myanmar's political situation is a little bit like not democratic country, but we are trying to get in a democratic country. So a few years ago, but we are struggling a lot of the limitation. So our culture tradition is totally, within a country it's totally different. We cannot, generalize Myanmar is those people. You cannot generalize, because even in Myanmar, we have totally different ethnic diversity. That's why in that ethnic and culture and tradition, we are really strong patriarchal. Not a man, patriarchal institution. So the situation is Myanmar nowadays. The situation is Myanmar. There's a lot of conflict, a lot of issue is happening. But today I will focus only about the gender, about the men, not women. So the political situation is happening. Women participation only 11. The previous term is like only 4. Now we are pushing and we are advocating. We are, talking a lot with our institutions, state level. So now it's better. 11. 11 is not good point, but it's a better before like previous government. Oh, the political situation is like that. The social area. Social area is maybe a quite strange because of one of the law. We call the marriage law. That marriage law is, you can read that, Burmese woman, Buddhist woman, I am a Christian, but Buddhist women cannot marry with the other religious people because they have to ask the permission of parents. They have to ask the permission of the religious leader before they get married with the other religions. So it is really complicated. For this law, I am a Korean, I am a Myanmar citizen, but I'm not involved in that law because I'm not a Buddhist. So I'm the excluded one again. So that institution and that regulation is really strange for not only for women, it is for a Myanmar society. So before that law passing through from the parliament, and we are really voice out, we really advocate, and we really like debating, arguing several times, but that law is making by religious leader, Buddhist religious leader. So there's a lot of women giving vote to like endorse that law in the parliament. It's really strange. Just only a few of women a few of women wipe out that law. And a few of men, they are not allowed that law. But there's a lot of women, they agree on that law. Why? Why women? Why men? So this is a social sector. It's Myanmar. This is economic. Economic area is, according in its constitution, some paragraph is not discriminated. It's really, equal payment, equal everything, and writing in constitution. But the Article 352, the constitution refer only the suitable job for the woman, like indirectly, The another paragraph they agree like equal, but the Article 352 is specifically, that's suitable for men only, So indirectly discriminated in the economic sector. So this situation, like political situation, is the women participation is really few, because we are 51 over 51 million, but 11% is really few. And social sector is those kind of law. There's a lot of limitation for women law, but that law is very visibly discriminated on women. In economic sector, in the constitution, they are revealed like that very specifically, only suitable for men only. So how about the women? So this kind of situation, political, social, economic, it's all of the institution is bounded and blocking about the woman, human rights. Who is the perpetrator for this?
Before that, on your picture over there, those jobs are prohibited to women or only for women? The picture is shown.
No, just I figure it out like those kind of job are suitable for men. Those kind of job is only suitable for women. Like and those kind of job is like according our context. They put it in like that. This job is not suitable for men. Not writing in the we call that in written law. But the socially constructed, we are put it in that. But in our constitution, they are writing, and not even in written law, they are written in the article, this article. So you can imagine your career context in your Burkina Faso, Indonesia, you can reflect what job is people think this is only for women, this is only for men, this job is not suitable for women. So we have in our context that kind of restriction. So it's who is the perpetrator and who doing like this kind of, who control this situation?
Men. We do.
Men? Are you sure?
It's a combination.
Combination.
Should be together.
Should be together.
We're not working, it's not together.
Men. Men are controlling.
Long story.
Lord, when I share it that I normally do only, I'm not invited women in this topic. When I sharing and discussing, I am not doing like this kind of atmosphere. I just close the closed atmosphere and I only invite men and only 3 or 4 women. I'm not discriminating women, but I want to give it a chance for men to be voiced out. So men are perpetrator. You all are agree?
No.
No, it's just like generalizing there. Not all men. Yeah, it came from the long time, the society. Women are behaving in the same way. Women are not also not like they are, opposing the same thing. They are not opposing the whole system. They are working in the system and they are part of that system. So it's men, but women are the part of that system.
Yeah. So women, when when of the sharing program, I just invite 3 or 4 feminists. They are coming to. One of the men started talking like that. Oh, women either. They are also controlled. So at that time, I cannot continue my session, because of the feminist group. They are fighting that man, and I have to stop my section. So mostly like men also feeling like that, but we exclude men feeling. But we think that only men as perpetrator, as who control everything, who shaping the world. And they only have a giant power within that. So for me, when I study my specifically for this gender study, so I just focusing about this male and female. Human being is not a problem. I found it out the patriarchal institution. Patriarchal institution. But people, when we use a simple patriarchal, is a good, But when we interpret patriarchal, it's male dominant. So again, is we blame again to men, male dominant again. So yeah, we think that very visible, like men only. So I want to be frankly talk. So I want to ask him that question. Do you don't be shy. Feel free to share. Okay. So this is a special chance for men. And so have you ever cried in front of the public? Right? Cry.
Topics silently
In front of the public.
in front.
Yeah.
I do.
In public.
And it's,
Cry out.
I don't know how serious you think, but sometimes I cry.
So
Very rarely.
very rarely. And you haven't
Come on,
cried.
what? Come on. No, it's just in collecting. Okay.
So have you ever sharing each and everything outside from someone, not your beloved, because beloved is exceptional case. Because like in generally, when we have our best friend, women are mostly sharing. In generally, no, I mean, but in men. And don't answer like quickly and easy. The very detailed question will come. Okay. So where? If something is difficult or some limitation you are facing at that time, how you tackle that issue? Men.
It depends on the level of impact. We can cry publicly, but when the impact is that strong, that we may cry, but we rarely cry as people. Probably women cry more often. Men can cry, but less often.
Why?
Because that's a manhood. If we,
That's how we've grown up since
that's right.
childhood.
We don't want to show
If we show,
And different times.
Okay. Have you ever faced with domestic violence from your partner?
Can you give example?
Yeah, domestic violence, like violence,
at home,
Like someone hit me.
you know, from from your family member or from your beloved or from your. Oh my God.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever faced like violence? Not a physical violence, mean a psychological, physical, like economical. It's everything like.
of course it happens. But quite frequently, the people who cause the violence, they do not realize that we are causing the violence. We frequently forget. We do not realize that it is a violence.
What type of violence men are facing?
Of course, physical, verbal,
Verbal,
Verbal sometimes.
verbal sometimes. From who?
family.
Sometimes
Family member.
not family members.
Arguments. Like argue.
Arguing. At that time, the situation, what happened?
You feel bad.
You can talk back, fight back, or you can be silent.
But when we talk about the violence, what we are seeing? Physical violence. And when we talk about all over the world, like talk about the violence, we are visibly see who are violence victims.
One more. Sorry.
Like in generally, when we say about violence, so who are mostly like victim of violence?
Women and children.
Women and children.
But sometimes men.
Only sometimes. Only sometimes. Are you sure?
No, maybe many. Why
Very
not?
often.
It's possible. Yes, it's together. Why not only like?
Yeah.
I think like men rarely admit or really speak out of the violence they are victim because mostly it's not physical, but they can get like verbal violence and some economic also. So it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So don't forget, men are also the violence victim.
Of course.
You are a victim. Okay. Like you have to listen, whatever. Now I'm maybe perpetrator, asking a lot of questions. So that is we call the power. We call the power. But we forget about, we just only think about men, control everything. Because in our context, what we call that, men cannot cry. So tear, water. Water, it's not come out, that's why water is inside. Drinking, alcohol, more, and beats. Because they cannot, there are a lot of consequences in our context. But I don't know, if something is happened in our context, men are not sharing, even in their family member, where they have to share. If psychological problem is more and more and more and more inside men, that become a violence. We just only see the violence perpetrator. We don't know the hidden agenda. So that's why we call the patriarchal institution is not because of men, not because of women. We are nurturing. We are shaping. So I'm really interested about the old generation is, frankly speaking, it's really hard to change. For the new generation, we don't let them do, and we don't let them shaping and making a stereotyping again to our new generation. That is the practical. And I just want to show off the photo. I have only just left 10 minutes. No. Yeah. And that photo is me and my friend when I study in my master program in Czech, Slovakia, and we're doing some project, a kind of the media monitoring project. So we find it out the media who reveal. We show off men are not facing the violence. So, but when we are tracing media finding, sorry, technical problems. Is there?
Give me the problem.
Maybe one
Technical also.
maybe you can just like show the people like this while it is doing like this, so you can show the people. And then go.
So I will share about the verbally. Okay, so the violence, especially for men, and how in 1 minute we have a 60 second in 1 minute. So in each and every second, 4.6 second is like 4.6 seconds, so one of the men is facing domestic violence. So like we just calculate 7%, like out of 3, it's men who are suffer by the violence. So mostly like 40% of the men who are suffer physical violence by their partner. And mostly people say that physical violence is very visible, but most of the men who suffer is is the mentally and psychological violence. They are suffering every day and like every second. But we are not counting that root cause and that rooted cause what men are suffering. We just escape, you know. That's why when we doing a women human rights topic, men are not interested in that. Why?
We're talking only about movements, that's why?
And why men
Feel guilty. Men feel guilty. Because
men feel guilty.
It's shame.
they feel shame.
Shame.
So men, today is special only for men, okay?
Speak!
What's out? You know, everybody in our country and context is quite similar, you know. When I invite...
This oral violence to the man here now. Verbal violence.
So you can see that, you know, it's like stop violence for men. They did a campaign October 1st to 14th. They did a campaign, you know. So when we blame on men, you know, the dominant, the power abuse and you know, influencer, they are men. So why we also face like that kind of violence? Is that a man problem? So we have to reflect again for our rights journey, our woman human rights journey, and our human rights journey. You know, when we're sharing about the human rights section, we cannot see, really rare to see women. When we talk about the woman human rights, and we really rare to see about men. But we have to reflect and we have to rethink our right track. So it is a kind of, you know, we did media monitoring. So it's a half, like 14.6 seconds. So they are facing.
Why don't you use this pen?
I didn't. I didn't.
Is that
have-
right?
She has the pointer.
It doesn't working. It doesn't work. So that's why I did. Okay, that's why we in half of the domestic violence victims are men. We did a campaign as a Canadian men union together with that thing, like let's talk men. So I got the idea. Then I just try to think about how I want to initiate men to be participated about women human rights. And I also think about I need and hear what men real feeling inside, the private feeling. I want to hear the voices from men. So I don't know how to start at that. So three of us, one of my friends, and she is a woman, me, and another friend is he is a man. So we started discuss about that. So yeah, in PowerPoint. So what happened? Okay. Okay. Sorry for inconvenience. So to better have program, to better have, what is to better have? So promoting men participation in gender equality. I turn of the words of the women human rights because gender issue, we cannot think only one-sided. We have to think about harmonious is both-sided for men and women. And why we do like that? So men inclusively participation, happy family. I'm not holder happy nation, just only family we want to start it, very privately. And how we do that? You know, only the dialogue program. We are really rare to, you know. That's why I'm really excited how to manage like 20 people, around about 20. Mostly we make a dialogue only are 5 people, like 6 people, only men. So we just dialogue. Because of when we invite all of the people, men never ever share about their private feeling. That is absolutely true. You cannot deny that. So it's like from different sector we approach, because we just only approach like elite sector. I mean middle sector. No, we have to approach grassroots level. So different sector we approach that. So this time I just want to encourage men, not women, different aspect of the human rights journey. So we see that the men, you know, it's that situation when in our context, men when see that like cartoon, they laughing, but actually that is real. You know, in the dialogue section, what we are doing. In the dialogue section, we just allow to share men's private feeling. We create a safe space for men. And private feeling, not political, not economic, not, you know, private feeling in their family life. So, when we see that man as a perpetrator, that kind of stereotype we have to avoid. So never ever, if we see men as a perpetrator, we cannot make a harmonious gender equality. So there is a, like, we want to like aspect, different aspects, and we want to know about the understanding on men. So they become a harmonious, not only one-sided. So they will feel safe, you know. And women, human rights, also gender equality, also think about men. So they will feel like that. And even they give in some suggestion. When you want to continue women human rights journey, you should put it in that way. You should put it in that way. At that time, men will be actively participate and actively contribute. They give in suggestion. That suggestion is not come from women. That suggestion is come from even from men. So we can pursue men, you know, they actively involved in our journey. So, and just we make a 3 methodology in our context. It may be used for your context or not, I'm not sure, but that is very useful for when we approach men. Firstly, they absolutely deny. When I started, you know, when they see me, I'm a woman human rights defender. When they see that I'm not interested about women rights, they are, you know, even I approach, it takes time almost 1 year. I got only 6 months to involve in dialogue. It's very difficult. I don't want to change the whole nation. Just only 6 men, 1 year. So I just approached and like constituency building, we said that is the dialogue cycle. We made it. And like individual, we approach individually. It really take time, but it is very visible. How visible? That 6 men become practical intervention, not theory. Not theory. They become practical intervention in their life. And the last one is that we started to capacity building. We not giving input. Firstly, we just only listen, man, almost 1 year. Listen, only listen. I'm not talking about human rights and anything. Only listen from men private feeling. Then we make our practical interventions. Then we make our capacity building. Started to use it. We didn't give him a training. We are not giving a training. What we are doing now, we're doing the process learning from men, what they are doing, process learning. When they are feeling guilty, how they behave. When they like facing with the problem from their family, how they tackle that issue. We just learning as a process. We are not giving training to them. We only learn from them with a process. And we just doing that coaching and mentoring. We give it only mentor. No, we We're not giving like, you have to do like that, you have to, you violate the article, women right article 19 or 17, or we are not doing like that, we just only mentoring. So if you are a perpetrator, you don't do like that, you have to do like that, and if I'm giving like that kind of dictator, instruction, do you want to change or not? Never. We just only make a mentoring. That's why really take time. But if that 6 men is changing, now they only advocate about women human rights issue every time. That guy, those are guys I will introduce. So we cannot change only mindset. We have to also change heart. So knowledge is limitation. Heart can shape the knowledge. So don't forget, if we like training is some limitation. We have to be careful about it. So this is the last part. We do the capacity. We did 3 kind of approach to better have. That topic, that title I got from the idea from the Greek methodology. You can see and you can search in Google that. So I just, that's why I just combine with the media. So media is really powerful. This media person, I approached that guy. I have to take only 3 months to get his convinced. So I have to wait every time, in front of his house. He is shouting me. Laterly, his contribution till now, any kind of, advocating is really hard. But change is very visible. You can see that, and you can read. I'm not explaining about it. So I got a title. It's half. Half is not enough. We have to be complete. But to be a complete, if your side, one side is not healthy, the other side can be, move easily or not. Cannot. So this half have to be better for this half. So half have to be healthy. So don't focus only one half. You have to focus both half. You have to find out to be a better half. That's why I just naming as a better half. So you can find it really interesting story. So that is, I took that title. So it is to be gender equality. It's harmony. It's a partnership. We have to make a partnership again. We cannot only focus about women right. We need that. We have to also focus about the men. No, I'm not mentioning men right. I have to be partnership. Have to be friendship again. Have to be harmonious. So this is our dialogue session. So just only 6 men. So this guy is the cartoon administrator, administration. He did it. So only these men. This guy is 3 of our members. We are developed together. So this guy, we have to approach, almost take time, but their contribution, it's when they started using a dialogue, they are really like artists. They are really famous person and grassroots person. I approach different aspects, and they are really playing a lot of human rights issue. Invisible, even we never ever think about, our gaps, but they see that gaps, and they just firstly they are really arguing, and later. We have to make 6 times, 7 times dialogue. Then later, and become like one of the platform every time we can approach. And every time they started, that guy is a composer. And after firstly he avoids and he arguing a lot, almost 3 months and 6 months, and after that when he got a realize, and then he composed one song. That song is very famous in Myanmar. It's men have to be big hearts. The title is like that. So it's really amazing. So that's why I want to be heard more and more voice and men perspective from you guys. We need men voices. We have to be reduce men tension. And we have to be engaged men perspective in women human rights journey. That is our, my mission for this program. Thank you.